Hey everyone, I'm Peter Perez, VP of Business Development with GamerJive, bringing you access to the BCGA Gaming and Esports Virtual Job Fair in partnership with Hitmarker. This is a first of its kind career fair to help Black, Indigenous, and people of color greater access to the gaming and esports industry. I'll be your guide through the event space where we'll walk through an immersive virtual environment hosted on GamerJive, and I'll have a chance to speak directly with esports teams such as CLG, Evil Geniuses, Team Envy, Method, Immortals, FlyQuest, NRG version 1, and more. You'll also get a chance to see different product and service providers like Stay Space, The Story Mob, Nerd Street Gamers, who are all looking to add talent to their teams. I'm fired up about this event. It's free to the public. So if you're looking to land a job with any of these amazing organizations, don't wait. All you have to do is go to visit bcga.gamerjob.com to access the event. It's easy to get in there. Just hop on a laptop or PC, but you've got to submit your resume. If you're looking to land a job, you've got to submit your resume over to info@bcgausa.org. Let's not waste any time. I'm excited to get in here. Oh, look at that. I'm already in. All right, before we start looking around, I just want to give a brief overview of what you can expect on the GamerJive platform. So this immersive environment allows attendees to have complete control over their entire experience. What does that mean? You get your own avatar. You get to choose what rooms you go to. You choose who you want to speak with in the event and for how long. And you get to choose what content you consume within this event space. So a bonus to walking through this environment is I will get a chance to interact with other attendees, other exhibitors, some of the esports teams that'll be in here within this event. If you have questions, you can post them in chat, and I will try to get them into the live stream. So for the next 30 to 40 minutes, we'll be going in and making a journey through this event space so you can get a look at what it's like to host an event on GamerJive, but also how you today, if you're looking to land a job, today is the day to get in here. Again, head over to bcga.gamerjive.com. If you want to get into the event and just check it out, interact with some folks and do some light networking, or if you're looking to land a job, you will need to get your resume. Email that over to info@bcgausa.org. All right, let's get inside the event space. I don't want to waste any more time in here. Spinning around. Okay, so I've selected my own avatar. I've already made some customizations to it and picked my favorite attire. I always like to get these glasses and my face mask on for the event. I'm excited to be here. I hope that you are. Richard's already sharing some awesome announcements to everybody. Let's see if we can say hi to Richard. Hey, Richard.
Hi.
Yes, he's there. Hey, what's up, my friend? All right, I've fired up the stream. We've got folks on LinkedIn, Periscope, Twitch, as many places that we can get it out to have a chance to hear directly from you. What were some of your delights and pains putting together this event? Share whatever you like for the next 30 seconds. Take a minute. The floor is yours, man. Share what you'd like.
Well, it's putting together events is never easy, right? It's always difficult because you've got so many people to keep happy and so many people that you're relying on. But I think the benefit of this one was that the BCGA and the cause that it's for, which is to advance the cause of people of color in the USA and all around the world, it meant that when I sent that first message to CLG, Envy, Evil Geniuses, Immortals, like all of the huge names that are here, the response that I got was good. And it was like, I didn't have to send 200 emails to get 20 people to come. I pretty much had to send 30 or 40 emails to get people to come. So I'd consider that to be a big success, especially when I just found out yesterday the email was landed in junk folder for a lot of people. So I think we could have had even more awesome companies here, but yeah, it wasn't too much of a headache. Everyone was happy to participate. Everyone has figured out how to use the platform, and I think we've ended up with a pretty good event. We're running at nearly 100 people concurrently, so can't complain.
Oh, that's excellent. And so putting together these kinds of events in the virtual space, when you look at trying to prepare for a world that wants to go back to physical events, do you see a need and a use case for how virtual can also supplement what the land-based event is hoping to accomplish when we go back to, getting back in person and actually putting a resume in somebody's hands?
Yeah, I still think there's going to be a place for this forever just because of the walls it breaks down. So today, I'm fairly sure we've got attendees from Brazil, from Asia. We've definitely got people from Europe, as you can hear from my voice, and people from US with you being over there. So we've probably got representation from at least 4 continents, probably more than that, to be totally honest. That is very hard to do at a physical event, especially for job seekers, because who has the funding or the money to travel to the US, where most of these events tend to happen, to even get the chance to speak to some organizations that I just mentioned, or like NRG or Version 1 or State Space or StoryMob? All of those companies are very NA based, even though they spread further than that. And I think the biggest challenge we hear from job hunters is accessibility in terms of location. So I think events like this have got a huge future, and I think it's a great way to meet people that you would never otherwise meet. It's really hard to figure out who the HR people are for esports and gaming companies. So we're trying to bring those to you at this event, and I think that's quite a rare thing.
And what about the time zones? I know that esports is global. These events try to be as global as they can. Have you found there's more regions other than others that are, like hungry for these types of jobs?
Definitely. Because we have a big presence in Brazil in particular and Latin America, I think if you looked at the demographics of this event, there would be a heavy representation from that area, because we know that esports and gaming in Brazil is huge already and it's growing fast in a lot of the other LATAM countries. But they don't maybe have access to the same level of job opportunities that people in the US would do, especially on the west coast of the US. So I would definitely say that that is a fast growing area for us in terms of people who are becoming alive to the space. But in this event, it was really mainly about trying to get people from college in North America who didn't necessarily know that this video game industry was a thing where professional careers existed outside of just being a player. So that's what it was fundamentally about. But it's been great because BCGA have brought in a lot of students from their member schools, which are based around the south and towards the east coast of the US. But we've been able, because they were generous enough to open it up to our users as well, to supplement that with people from the Hitmarker side of things. So yeah, Latin America and the east coast of the US in particular are starved of opportunities and definitely need more opportunities in this industry.
Yeah, what do you think is the timeline? If those are the areas that you'd like to see more growth, is it the infrastructure? Or is there bottlenecking? What are some of the blockers that exist that prevent the scaling, or maybe the appropriate matchmaking that needs to happen?
I think what we find is just that the industry's so new, especially because we're coming from esports and we've only really been involved in the wider video game industry for the last year. Esports in particular, anywhere you go, is pretty much a new industry, and there aren't that many job opportunities globally. So if we were to look at a monthly snapshot of the esports industry, even pre-COVID, pre-pandemic, you would be lucky if we could find 1,000 paid esports jobs based around the entire English-speaking world. So US, UK, Canada, Australia, and any other country that's hiring with English language first. So that's a super small industry by anyone's measures, to be honest. And I think really the West Coast is far ahead of a lot of other areas in terms of the opportunities that it has available. And it's just a case of time. I don't think esports is going anywhere. I think all of these markets are growing. They've been hurt a little bit by pandemic because of esports being a live event industry fundamentally, which really does live on interactions and community and people being able to get together at events like this to celebrate the teams that they love and the games that they love. So I do think that is the major blocker, is just the newness of the industry. There's nothing else there that I would say is a major headache, but the accessibility is a big thing. So more online events like this where companies are open to speaking to people from Brazil, speaking to people from Asia, not necessarily being so tunnel vision to think that we just have to hire the guy that lives 15 minutes away and can come to the office every day. If there's one small positive out of the horror that has been the pandemic, is that I think we've seen some walls knocked down in terms of people's openness to remote work, which I hope is we'll get some stories out of this event where it might be somebody who's based nowhere near one of the higher-end companies, and they might come out and say, oh, I got an internship or I got an opportunity here, and it's on a different time zone. But we all speak the same language. We all love gaming, and I'm filling a need that they had. So yeah, that's what I hope. I think, but yeah, the biggest blocker is just how new the industry is.
Yeah, and I think we're still in those nascent stages. But recently, the Olympic Committee came forward, and they're getting ready to do some virtual events of their own in partnership with maybe DreamHack and a couple of others. Do you think that announcement is going to spark, some increased growth?
I think anytime that we go mainstream, which is what everyone always talks about, is like you get the people who've been in the industry a long time who'll roll their eyes and won't be necessarily thrilled by that. But what we find on Hitmarker is that when a big mainstream event happens, and the thing I always point to is like the Fortnite World Cup, the first one, where that was all over the news just because of the amounts that were won by people of such a young age. And we saw a direct increase in traffic on Hitmarker because you were reaching a brand new audience that didn't know esports existed. And that was when we were just esports only jobs board. Anytime we're able to break through into the consciousness of, even if it's adults who've got kids that they might not understand, that's hopefully a step forward to making people realize that gaming isn't just necessarily about locking yourself in a room for 12, 16 hours and not eating anything healthy and just sitting playing. Although it definitely is a bit about that. That's how I spent a lot of my teenage years. But I think open it up to realize that it is a huge, fast-growing industry with a lot of money and a lot of job opportunities. So I don't see that being any harm. I think the more we can do to get the word out, the better. But it's interesting that my opinion, as someone who comes from the traditional sports world, is that it's traditional sports and the old way of doing things that needs esports and gaming. It's not the other way around. I think if you look at all the growth metrics, one of them is going in one direction and one of them is going in the other direction. So I don't necessarily think esports and gaming needs the Olympics, but if they feel like they need esports and it can be a benefit to both, then hopefully.
I felt that way, once I've heard that the Olympic Committee was doing some scouting in there and, really in a unique way was trying to qualify esports and almost dismiss initially. And I knew that was right there, their early positioning to try to say, right, make the signal that you need us, but if you're in the gaming industry and you're in esports, it's the other way around, right?
You can see it from, I don't know how much it's broken over there, but all of this craziness about the Super League here, about the
yes, yeah, I heard.
If you look, that is effectively, to give any US listeners an equivalent. That's like, say you had a
FIFA does not like competition, huh?
Yeah. Well, it's like that. It's like we've ended up with American owners in the British game, and they've looked at the model and think like, "Ooh, I don't like the fact that my team can get relegated and play in a less quality league for being bad all year, right?" Whereas you can finish bottom in the NFL and get the first draft pick, which is like you see teams trying to lose. So they want to bring that model over here, but the reason they want to do that is fundamentally financial. And if you look at the main reason behind the guy who was behind it and who caused it to try and happen, he's concerned that 16 to 24-year-olds are watching less and less traditional sport.
That's
and spending more and more time watching virtual sport, which is our world. And he actually name dropped, like, I think Call of Duty and Fortnite and something in one of his statements, because those guys are seeing the metrics, right? They're seeing where the young eyes are going, and then they're seeing where the interest is. And he said himself, like 90-minute games, which I think you guys over in the US like laugh about them ending in ties and in draws and only having like one goal. They can be very boring. It's like I would equivalent it to baseball more than an NFL game or an NBA game. So they're realizing, the industries are realizing that gaming and esports is a huge thing. And I think, the future for our industry is really, really bright.
Oh, Richard, I love speaking with you because you're a wealth of knowledge from a perspective that a lot of people don't quite get access to, right? Because you're sitting in that junction where the hiring managers are looking to gain access to the talent, and you get to see, like how the talent are first presenting themselves to these careers and seeing how that's evolved a bit. Richard, thank you so much. If there's any, closing remarks that you want to share, top of mind, before you do, I just want to say thank you. And then, after you share what you want to share, I'm just going to jump around and go talk to some folks in the event and, see how they're enjoying it.
Yeah, I would just invite people to jump in here. I think it's a very rare opportunity that you can come to an event like this and speak to some of the names that I just reeled off there. Honestly, I don't think it's ever happened before where you've had such quality of company in one place. All here ready to talk to people, not necessarily even about jobs. If you're just interested in the industry, we aren't at capacity. There's room to jump in. It takes a minute to sign up. And I would like to talk to you, and I'm sure a lot of other people would. So jump over from Periscope or wherever you're watching and get in here and let's have a chat about esports and gaming jobs.
That's excellent. Thank you, Richard. And we'll definitely be in touch. I'll circle back with you again later. Take care, my friend.
See you. Thanks, Peter.
Cheers. All right, let's see where we're going to go next. Want to see the attendee list. Hey, Khalil Walker, what's good? Anthony, what's good? So I'm going to be today's mobile live stream. Okay. And I'm just really curious. What are your guys? Is it your first time in a virtual event on Gamer Job, and what your experience has been, good or bad?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear.
Oh, okay.
It's been good. I've been having a good time making like connections.
Awesome. And so, tell me a bit about your background.
I'm a communications major. I graduated in December 2019. During college, I was part of a newspaper club at my college where I just talked about like the gaming industry and the consumer technology industry. Then I was like kind of like a staff writer. Then in 2018, I created Game Enthusiast. It's a blog of mine where I just talk about aspects of the gaming industry. Then right now, currently, I've been doing podcasts. Like I'm trying to vary my content, try not to get tired. Like I just did a podcast yesterday on my favorite franchise, Assassin's Creed. And it's been fun participating in this event. Like there's not a lot of I've been going to various job fairs for the past few months looking for a job, and this lifts the weight for me personally. I'm loving the experience.
And what are some of the challenges that you see now with trying to fit right within what hiring managers are looking for? Are you seeing commonalities from one position to the next if you've been on that journey?
Yeah, commonalities.
Yeah, what are they really hungry for, right? If they're trying to hire somebody from out of college, right, and they just finished something, there's sometimes a disconnect between what's currently happening in the industry and how the education system's able to give, right, those key insights into the student body, right, into their alumni. Are you seeing a disconnect there, or are you seeing that matchmaking is happening?
Yeah, I feel like there's a disconnect because it's just like when I'm looking for a job, I guess they are looking for experience, but the thing is that when you're out of college, during college you take jobs. Like when I was in college, I was working at GameStop because I love talking about video games. So I worry about, hey, I might not have experience, or I've been out of a job for a bit and I'm worried that I'll forget what I learned during college. That's my main worry. So I feel like there is a disconnect. There was a video game club in my college, but it was nowhere to be seen. And students, it seems like students in my college, students can actually petition to make a club of their own. And I didn't see the video game club in my college. I was kind of sad that I wasn't able to participate in that. But I found the newspaper club, which was a way to express my thoughts on the industry.
Excellent. Oh, well, thank you, Khalil, for sharing those thoughts. I'm going to continue to journey on and head to the next room. But if you want to check this out, this is live streaming over on Twitch, LinkedIn, and various places. You probably find it easiest if you click on my name. connect with me over LinkedIn, and you'll see it pop up in your feed if you want to check this out and review it later. But yeah, thank you again for dropping in, and please let your friends and colleagues know. I'm sure you already have, if they're looking to talk with some of these esports teams and some of the product and service providers. I think it's a really good opportunity for them to get in front of somebody, even if they can't meet with them today. Just even knowing who's participating in here and what Hitmarker is able to do for us, I think they're shedding a lot of light on what's happening in the industry. So yeah, I just want to say thanks again, man. Appreciate it.
Peter Perez, right?
Yes, yeah, that's me. I'm with the Gamer Drive team.
Okay.
Awesome. All right, I'm gonna head out, and Khalil, I'll run into you again later, my friend. Take care.
Okay. Bye.
Cheers. All right, next, let's head over to the dance floor. Okay, there's nobody hanging out in this room currently. But I do, oh yeah, we got a couple of folks in here. Looks like we got Sydney. Jay's running around. Max Josh is running around. I can kick back and relax in some of the beanbag seating areas. Wait, I also want to get myself a beverage. Yeah, I love that when I pick up a drink, I'm also lounged out in the preview window. Can I rotate that? Yeah, I guess I could. Oh my goodness, that's hilarious. All right, so let's save that and get up from this seat. And let's head over to, so it looks like these high top tables were named by the event organizer, and this is where they get to pick what the topics are going to be for various discussions. So if somebody wanted to break out and hang out in some of these areas, so from mobile gaming, you can hang out here for a little bit. Somebody could come by and talk to you, or you could just invite somebody into this area and have a conversation, and they'll know what it is that you're talking about. Often I come into these high top tables and really they're talking about all kinds of interesting things within these areas. So I really want a coffee. I don't get enough coffee in my life, and I really think it helps me get through my day. So let's head out of here. I do want to jump into events and recruiting. I think we do have our GamerJab team might be hanging out in here. Let's check it out. Sarah. Oh, Sarah, what's good? Looks like she might be busy, but we can also click on her avatar and get a peek at her LinkedIn profile. So you're noticing that the screen's kind of turning a little white here on the sidebar. So LinkedIn recently changed their plugins in order to gain access to this preview window. So it's causing this funky little white bar that's happening in the screen. In fact, we're rolling out a brand new user interface. So once we roll that out, this is not going to be something that we'll have to experience, which is exciting. I'm going to take a peek at chat just to make sure. Let me know if there's any audio issues with the live stream, and then I'll make those corrections here on my end. But this is how easy it is to network with people within the event. So Sarah is in here looking either for a career or she's trying to hire folks. I found her LinkedIn profile through the event. I'll go ahead and send her a note. Thanks for attending BCGA. Forward to connecting. Send. And it's that simple. It's that simple, guys. You can get into the event. You can find people. You can connect with them over LinkedIn. And before you even have a conversation with them, you can get a nice snapshot of who they are, their business profile. I love the digital business card aspect for the event. I think that's one of my favorite aspects of it. And it feels like you're in person in a lot of these interactions. When you run up to somebody, you have some info, and you can say, hey, nice to meet you. I see that you work for XYZ company. Hey, what do you guys do? I'm gonna learn some more information about it. So that's really exciting on that aspect. So let's check out Simon, one of the employers with Studio Types. I think we're going to keep going just to do kind of a tour around the event space. Soft Giving is also here. Let's learn some more about Soft Giving. I'm not too familiar with them. So let's go into the booth. Once we get in here, we'll have a drop-down menu where I can expand and get more information. So these links here are giving me insight into where these are going to go to. So if I wanted to go to their website, I can, in fact, let's click on this coin and take a peek. Excellent. Okay, so they provide overlays for live streamers. So there's an event interaction tool. Excellent. Events by Soft Giving, the charity game has changed. Let Events by Soft Giving create and manage high-impact online events that connect you to the next generation of donors. All right, that's outstanding. So look at that. I was able to get directed to their website within the booth. I can also check out their Twitter feed. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and give them a follow now that I'm here. I can also go visit their LinkedIn page. I can go take a look at their Instagram. I mean, this is a lot of access through the booth. Oh, Asmund Gold. Hey, what's up? I recognize some of these live streamers. Now, this is super cool because in a virtual event, I don't normally get to get this much information about an organization where I get to decide like which content that I want to consume. And let's go ahead and check out this video.
We hit $10,000.
Donating $1,000, putting us over. We did some crazy shit. You guys should be proud. I'm proud.
If you're a streamer and you're like, hey, this sounds cool, I want to do this, create your own campaign. It's super easy.
All right, that's super awesome. Okay, so now I've got a good idea about Soft Giving, and they seem to do a really good job at connecting content creators with the ability to increase their donations. I'm interested to learn more about what their tools are. If you want to get in here to the GamerJive event, go to bcga.gamerjive.com, and you can also meet with some of these organizations. This particular event for Black Collegiate Gaming Association is a chance for people of color to get in front of these esports organizations and these product and service providers within the gaming industry in order to land a job. So we're currently in a hiring event, walking around, taking a peek at some of the booths. I'll come and visit the GamerJive booth later. But let's go ahead and, there's also some scavenger hunt items. I want to collect all of those. Yes, because it's a game, and yes, because it's
It is
absolutely
a
fun.
subscription form, right?
Yeah, I just added you on LinkedIn.
Oh,
And,
awesome.
and for that code, you just go to Twitch, like Twitch redeem code here. Just twitch.tv/redeem.
Okay.
Here, I can actually,
Which-
I'll put it in the chat now.
All right.
Yeah, it's just, and then you can redeem for some sweet
Redeem.
Twitch bits. My
Oh.
God.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh yeah.
Oh, never know this. I never went to this page.
I know,
Why
right?
should I put on there?
Did you see the I private chatted you. What's up, Peter? Got that young wave going on.
Hey, what's good, fellas? Yeah. Hey, I got you guys actually on the live stream for my showcase for the event.
Oh.
Awesome. Yes.
That's awesome.
Oh, I'm being streamed right now.
Yes, sir. Yeah. If you connect with me on LinkedIn, you'll be able to see it there. It's on Twitch. It's on YouTube. It's on Periscope. So it's hitting a couple of places. But really, what I'm trying to do is just get some insight into, what's the likelihood you're going to get a job out of this, one. And two, all right, is this effective for getting in front of the people within the industry that you're trying to connect to? Nick, do you have any thoughts on that? Yeah? Do you think?
You know, it's actually quite tragic because I'm actually representing Invent Global here.
Awesome.
But I don't know how to get my little company logo next to my name.
Awesome.
So I'm very much
I can help with that.
Yeah, so when it went under your organizations, I hit the star next
Correct.
to the organization whose branding you want to use, but that doesn't seem to work. Is there like anything else I need?
So yes, all you have to do is refresh your browser, reconnect to the event, and then you'll see that logo next to your name.
If I
Yeah, just make sure that star is highlighted, and I'll demonstrate it on my screen so folks know what we're talking about. So under organizations, we can go in here and click the star to represent the event, and then just refresh your browser and see if it's there. And if it's not, just head to the welcome desk, look for Fernanda, and then she can help troubleshoot it for you.
Sorry, I'm going in and out. I did not mean to.
Oh, no worries. No worries. Yeah, just reload into the environment, and that should come back for you there, Nick.
But I will lose my collectibles, though.
You will, but we're tracking that on the back end. So it will reset the collectibles, but all that scoring is still going to be tracked. So if there's any prizes that, Richard is giving away for collecting all of them, you'll just be able to get more.
Oh, okay.
So it's a little hack.
I could possibly game the system. That's fantastic.
You could, yeah. The blockchain events definitely game the system. They'll refresh and try to do it all over again.
So, Andre, I just sent.
Hey.
Here's the code. I just put it in the public chat. You can use that.
Oh, I must be quick.
Haha, yeah. Be quick. Redeem it.
Awesome.
Oh, this actually works.
Yeah, bro. Oh, bro. You think I'm kidding around here?
No, not at all, man.
Nice, man. But you know what, Peter? I will say this event's dope. I've been able to talk with tons of students. They're asking great questions. It's really great to be able to see so many new faces in esports trying to, find practical ways to enter the space. So it's awesome. It's a fun little setup, and also my mechanics are insane. Look how fast I can spin. Look at this.
Get out of here.
Oh my god. What is that? That APM.
Yeah. I'm on PC, so I have an advantage.
Yeah, me too.
I'm hitting WASD.
I have to do WASD, and some of the folks they do like the click to move around the space, but no, man, it's like I can't let go. I can't let go of my controls.
Yes. At the moment that I knew that I was able to use the WSD, it was amazing.
That's awesome.
I felt like, okay, I'm on a real game. Yeah,
you guys found?
Oh, just wait. We got brand new avatars coming out next month. A whole new user interface.
Awesome.
Yeah, you can jump. Yeah, you gotta switch it over to WASD.
Yeah, just click on the bottom right square.
Yeah, the little footprints.
The footprints. Click on the footprints, and then it should be good too.
That's awesome. So for anybody who's looking for a job, what's the best advice that you guys have been giving today?
First of all, you need to know what is the area that you would be applying for. And the second advice I would give is to have a hitmarker.cv. If you guys have it, it will make more easier to present yourself to the employer, and after that, the other advice that I can give is about the resume and how to build and how to construct a cool resume to share with some people at gaming and esports. There are some particularities, some specificities that are really focused on gaming and esports, and they are not the same things that we do on the normal companies or the traditional companies. But the best advice that I would give is check Hitmarker.net, check the availability of jobs, the jobs that we post. On Twitter and the other socials, we only post some jobs, and in the platform we have 12K jobs on our platform, and I'm sure you guys gonna find something really special to apply. Maybe that's it. I don't know.
There's a lot there.
A lot of things.
There's a lot there.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is there's not one thing that you can do. You do have to do your homework. You've got to look at where you see yourself. You have to look at where you are currently, and what I feel like passion is a part of it, but there's still a lot of administrative tasks that a lot of people like. They're afraid of doing some of that the dull and the boring stuff that really helps set you apart when you're willing to just stop and review the work that you've done. Like, because we're in Gamer Job, we see that all the time. Like internally, if we don't stop for looking and evaluating and auditing our process, then we're going to drop the ball in so many different areas, and that takes time. And that's why I see, it's a snail's pace for this industry to evolve the way that I thought it was going to back when I was hosting my own esports events and back when I was filling convention centers for DreamHack. So moving away from that, right, and going into the virtual space, it's been really interesting to see the new careers that have been created. So I think what's something that's really important that a lot of people underestimate is the power of creating a whole new role and seeing the opportunity that exists when somebody is in. Because if you can identify those new careers that are going to be created, that's likely that you're able to either partner with them, get hired in with one of those startups or those new companies, or you can just be an entrepreneur yourself and head that road and like take a risk. But don't go all in like I did. Like I quit everything that I was doing and I went all in on esports like back in like 2013, 2014, and it wasn't the best idea. Wasn't the best idea. You're starving. You're literally starving for years, right? And some people can do that, not everybody can. But I recommend, that's why events like this are great, because people can learn about the industry, go work for another organization, find out what their pain points are, and then maybe you can provide a solution to that later on your own, in creating your own company. Because I feel like now's a really good time to do the work, right? Fill the gaps in for the existing industry. And also keep one foot in the entrepreneurial side to figure out a way for you to kind of branch off on your own and do your own thing. So I feel like this is all culminating.
Yeah, and this is exactly the opportunity that we have in esports. Everything happened so quick on the esports side. I did pretty much the same that you did. I was in the traditional market. I was working in a traditional company, and then I realized that I've been playing games since all my life, and I was participating in esports. Why not combine the both worlds and go to the esports area? And that's why in maybe 3 years ago I went for full esports jobs. But the advantage was that I already worked on some multinational companies and got to know what are the responsibilities, what I learned and through all these years, what I'm good at, and this is a valuable piece of advice that I can give to the other guys. Just know what are your strength points, what is the best thing you can do, what is the specialty, and then go for the esports market. It's also easy when you have those objectives clear on your mind. And maybe that's pretty much it. Yeah, it's also awesome to have this type of conversation here. And thank you, man.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Andre. I really appreciate that. All right, I'm gonna go on another adventure and talk to some other folks. But I did send you a connection request on LinkedIn. It's just that easy. It's so easy. It was awesome. There, so I just sent it over. But yeah, let's stay in touch, and I'll definitely be wandering around, man. So let's go have some fun.
Yeah.
All right.
See you, man.
Catch you later. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. So that was a great chat with Andre. Oh, I don't want to interrupt the chat here. What's going on, guys? Oh, good. I'm not interrupting. That's good. All right, let's head to the next room. Bye. All right, let's go.
Relaunch MySpace. You need to bring it back, honestly. No, TikTok's the one right now that's just crazy for people.
Oh my gosh,
I'm not on it. I'll be honest. I should be, because the power in that platform is ridiculous right now from a growth stance for people.
I don't want to touch it with a 10-foot stick.
And I don't either. But like but then that's where I have to sit here and acknowledge it. Like, but I should. I'm like, but I should.
I've never been like a fan of like super like short form content, but yeah, TikTok is definitely like
Vines were where it was at.
Oh, Vines.
Vine. I love Vine. I would never actually join Vine, and I'm sad about it. But I watch all of the Vines.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the compilations on YouTube.
The good content will always break out of whatever platform it is.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I do like TikTok for because it's very low commitments basically.
Yeah, well, and it's a platform right now that it's very easy to organically grow a following and a community in. Whereas, right, like if you want to break into Twitch and you're a League of Legends streamer, I mean, good luck. You know, like it's hard to build an audience in a lot of ways on a platform like Twitch from the ground up at this point.
Yeah. Plus, I read the study. I can't remember which website or organization actually did it, but they did a study that video is the future of marketing. Like people are getting lazy to read more and to interact more. So the video is where it's at, and yeah, people's attention span is what it is. Because yeah, I do have to admit, if the video is 1 minute long in TikTok, I will skip it.
No, and it is a very real thing right now that people's attention span is greatly decreased, and so you have to adjust how you try to connect with people now. Like with everything so immediately accessible, it's, you know, people want, once again, that kind of that short-term gratification, and if your content's not catering to that, it's pretty difficult.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, yeah, the world has gone simpler, basically, making everything's gone much easier to people, more accessible, but that also has added a lot more to people, which means that, of course, everyone's time is going to be limited more now, since everyone has more and more stuff.
Yeah,
and that's what's going on.
While you were
now.
talking about like the visibility, like trying to like grow on Twitch or something is like much harder, like YouTube.
Yeah,
like so maybe TikTok is where it's at.
Yeah,
like, and that's I was talking with one of my contacts who is he ran Twitch Student for the last couple of years, and we were just talking about like actually this conversation and how at this point, generally speaking, one of the best things people can do to build that audience is take it, you know, start it on a TikTok and then migrate it over to a YouTube, and then you have to basically, you know, jump into Twitch after the fact once you've built up some of those other platforms with your audience already there. And I was just talking to somebody earlier too, like that's in general the trick of content and marketing, right? Is how do you make all these things interconnect to each other and doesn't feel like they're fractured across platforms.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's like I'm an art student. I'm graduating in May, so in my like portfolio classes, we definitely talk about like having like consistent branding.
Yeah.
Across like all of our stuff. That's very important.
Yeah, it is from you know, the sense you're talking about, where like literally your portfolio and like your brand and work. And the other side that I like to look at it too is there's a book by what's up, Peter? Right, there's a book by Pete Carroll, who he's a football coach for the Seahawks in the NFL. Not that anyone's a football fan, but one thing that I love.
Oh, I was like, you're so wrong. I was like, I definitely knew.
Oh, that's great.
I'm
like, it's one of those things where like it's such a like, and it's like of all things too, it's Pete Carroll. Like it's not like it's, you know, Belichick or something. Like,
I was
Pete
born
Carroll.
in Washington State actually, but now I live in the East Coast because my family is military.
Okay. Well, we're definitely going to talk about that in a second then, because I'm in Seattle now and I'm from Midwest and East Coast. But he has a comment in his book though, and it talks more about like your personal brand and your personal culture, and if those things are shifting year to year for you, you are unlikely to really ever get to where you're targeting the final destination to be, right? Like if what you believe, if who you are, if what you're trying to become or represent is consistently changing, you're never going to really hit that point of mastery. And that one is super cool. And like, you know, he was a guy, and like when he was talking about it, like he realized this at like 55 years old, you know, that his culture shifted too many times year to year and program to program. And when he figured this out is when things really came into stride for him. And so I think that conversation's so interesting though, of people that just constantly shift like who they are or what they care about or what they want to do, you know, every 6 months or every short term, like it's very tough to scale yourself.
Yeah, it's just like harder to connect and
yeah,
really understand people on a deep level if they're like constantly just swapping things.
Yeah, exactly. But where on the East Coast are you from?
I live in Virginia.
Okay. Or yeah, not
It's
from
like
living Virginia.
Northern Virginia is like right around DC. So
Okay.
it's probably closer to DC, but yeah.
Okay, cool. I grew up in Michigan and then relocated out to Jersey for a bit, and then back to Michigan, and then now to Seattle.
And how do you like Seattle compared to the?
I mean, literally anything's better than Michigan. So.
Yeah. Because I know Washington, great. When I was growing up, I like loved the fact that it rained so. And some people were like, I would just dread that, and I'm like, it's so beautiful, and like, just the city and the area.
Yeah, awesome. It's honest, like, cause I moved here in October. So I haven't been in like the truly nice part of the year yet. So we're coming up to it though. So I'm excited, but it is still crazy to me when I'll be coming into the city, and you get over the bridge a little bit, and there's literally just the perfect mountain range just there. You know what I mean? Like, like I said, I'm coming from Michigan where everything's flat and it's just boring, and like, you know, and I'm like, it still blows my mind. I'm like, oh, like those are massive mountains where I live now.
I don't think you'll ever get over it.
No, I don't either.
I studied abroad in Osaka, and Osaka's surrounded by mountains on all sides. Wow. And it was just you'd climb the stairs at the school that I did my study abroad courses at, and you'd just look out the stairwell window, and you'd be like, I could probably just stand here all day. And riding the train, all I wanted to do was look out the window.
Yeah, that sounds like so beautiful, like idyllic.
Yeah, for sure.
That's so cool. And that's like, and I always tell people too, especially starting out your career, like if you're open for relocation, the opportunities that you open yourself up for is insane compared to people that want to stay where they are. And there's nothing wrong with staying where you're at. Not at all. I've been there before. But when you're open for moving and stuff, you can get some really cool opportunities.
Emotionally, it's very scary to think about that.
Oh, it can be crazy terrifying. My first
time down apartments and just like jumping in and like
meeting new people, having to find somewhere to live, leaving my parents and my nice cushy house where I like know people on the East Coast.
No. My first time ever in the state of Washington was when I drove my car over when I was moving into my apartment. First time, apartment, sight unseen, drove right over.
Oh wow!
Oh my God.
I like it. People have varying degrees of comfort though, but I do my best when I am in a very uncomfortable, unknown situation.
Ooh, same.
So that's where I like it, where it's just fun. I'm like, I could fall flat on my face. Who knows? Like one way to find out.
Obviously, you're doing well. So.
Oh yeah. No.
I was like, not a cautionary tale. You do.
Oh yeah, I'm doing well, loving what I'm doing. But it would have been just as easy for me to say, actually, it's a little too much for me to move out there. Like it's a little too scary, or it's a little too this or that. But I'm like, nope, I'm good for it. It's a good time. I'm in. Like I said, it's gonna. I have my long-term plan and strategy in mind, and this meets into it, and having a good time. Do some hiking this weekend. It's gonna be fun.
Ooh. I was like definitely like graduating and like being in Virginia for like most of my life. I'm like ready to like just move on, sort of get away from my parents, just a little, some space. And then...
Where would you go?
Oh, it's like so tough. Of course I want to go out to California because that's just like the majority of the entertainment industry and just like jobs I'm interested in. But there's also like the people in my school's department are from like ILM. Industrial Light and Magic, and they have like an office in like Sweden. Okay. And so I just think that's like super cool.
That's so cool. I would actually like I would love to go international at some point. I really would.
Hey, it was nice talking to you. I really need to get a drink on my head. I've been eyeing your drink here, your coffee here, and I really want to get one.
Yeah, you're good. Feel free to add me on LinkedIn or anything if needed. I'm always around and available if anyone has any other questions and stuff. So
thank you so much, and I'll see you around.
See ya.
Goodbye.
Yeah, I was interested in what's it called, video editing. So right now I'm like basically an illustration student, and I was thinking about like transitioning towards like graphic design and video editing because I've always like enjoyed those things.
Okay.
But I wanted to know like if you have any like tips or advice for like what to stand out in like a reel, or what you look for in candidates for like video production.
Yeah, for I mean, so I will just preface it by saying like I am somebody whose artistic ability caps at stick figures.
Totally
so
fair. That's where everyone starts.
Yeah. So how I assess at least young professionals and students is a bit different for those areas. Like more so, what I personally am benchmarking off of is culture complement of somebody, right? Like how, and you'll hear the term culture fit used. Just to segue, I prefer culture complement because fit implies a preset structure. And I think complement more so means that they can also fill in something that, or like introduce, something to the company that was lacking before, wasn't present, or whatever. So
yeah, I really like that. It just sounds already like way more inviting.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You're not like a right fit.
Yeah, exactly. So for me, that's a lot of what I'm testing with people. And for that kind of stuff, though, honestly, it's like cheat codes for interviews. I tell people, right? Like companies have their mission, their vision, and like these big pillars of what they believe in and who they are all over their stuff, all over their website, social media, whatever it might be. And so what I look for side that really helps people stand apart is when people can understand like what is the actual mission and vision statement for Evil Geniuses, but then what they do is they take it and they morph it into who they are as a person. That like, so they pretty much take that and then their stories and when they explain to me who they are and why they're there, the people that can tie in their background to those things and those pillars, that's honestly kind of like cheat code interview stuff, right? Like, and you don't like make it very pinpointed. Like you want to be kind of subtle in it, but like those kinds of things are honestly the cheat codes from the non-technical audit stance. From a more technical side of like what people look for, I think, and this is just from.
Hey there.
Hello there. What's good, my friend?
It's going pretty well. It's a pretty cool platform.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate that, Chris. Yeah.
What else is Gamer Jive used for? Is this like the main, I guess, product?
That is a great question. In fact, there's been a pretty wide range of different activities that have happened on GamerJob. I think one of the most interesting ones was a private family Christmas party with like 3 generations of family members getting together with like grandma with her face, like her eyeball literally up against her webcam, and her kids telling her to get her face closer to the computer screen because the kids can't see her. And it was just hilarious. That was fun. But I think the biggest kind of market impact that we've had so far is with the blockchain community, because they are fearless and they will try any product if it means that they can get more user adoption, and they're able to distribute NFTs and distribute POAP. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but I think I lost Chris. Is he still here? Chris, where did you go? He must be in a private chat. I know he disconnected. Alright, so maybe he'll come back. I'm just going to say hello to you here, Charles. And see if I can connect with you on... See if we'll get you on LinkedIn. Excellent, excellent. Great seeing you at BCGA. Awesome. Sent you a little connect, my friend. Oh, there's Kellen from Hitmarker. Hey, good to see you, Kellen. Oh, wow. Okay, so there's currently a $50 gift card that's being given away. That's exciting.
About that. I
Chris.
had to reload.
Welcome back, Chris. Here.
I accidentally hit refresh.
Rip. You gotta collect all the stars again now, right?
You'll keep the score. In fact, the score is cumulative. So even if you load back into the event, the score will just continue to go up, even if you collect extra. Yeah.
So I could actually just cheat the system because I only have 24 right now.
You could keep refreshing, yes, but is that $50 gift card worth more than the quality human connection you can get out of this event? Maybe so. Don't answer that question.
I was gonna say, do you really want me to answer that question?
That's like 5 visits to Starbucks. Like, what? Why would I pass that up?
I mean, $50 is not a lot, but
Hey,
the knowledge of collecting 27 stars.
Well,
is
if it's
worth
$50 a
lifetime.
Bitcoin, it'll be worth like $60
That's
next
true.
month anyway.
Well, that depends on if Bitcoin takes off or another cryptocurrency does.
yeah. You never know. There might be another whale jumping in here sometime soon. Yeah, but anyway, I was mentioning to Chris earlier. He asked a really good question about the different kinds of events, and Chris, before you refreshed your screen, I was talking about the blockchain events who have been fearless in using this kind of technology for NFT distribution and POAP. So I don't know if you're familiar with on the POAP side, but I'm sure NFT's been creeping around, on the esports and on the publisher side specifically. Because the publishers they're trying to cash in on that, and they're already doing it de facto through the skin market. But with ownership attached to it, I think it's dramatically going to change what it means to play certain games. But anyhow, yeah, I'm really interested in what what everyone's experience has been so far. Jamin, am I pronouncing that right?
Jamin.
I love it.
Yes.
Please tell me your last name is Salmon.
Yes.
Jam and Salmon. Oh, it's so good.
The username is anyways. It's a long. Well, it's not a long story. It's one I don't feel like telling.
No, that's fine. No, you don't have to tell.
Right. I don't know. I'm just wandering around looking for like writing jobs, whatever else. I haven't gotten into esports much, but I mean, if I can write about them, whatever.
Yeah. Well, it's an interesting world because it's so nascent and there's still a lot of room to grow, which means those who get into it early are likely to create a bigger footprint later down the road as the younger generations come up and they're less interested in physical sports and are more interested in a sport where they can pick up a device and plug in and they can compete instantly anywhere at any time when they want to. And while that has its upsides and downsides to it, I mean, I've got 2 kids. They're both very much gamers. They see their dad, they see me plugged into games all the time. It's it's a really strange world, but all I can say is that it's not going anywhere. It's definitely not. So you're in the right place.
No, it's definitely not. It's the 21st century where you're doing virtual conferences.
Yeah. So what did you think about Gamer Jive when you first got in here? Was this weird?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm used to like adventure game stuff, so wandering around was weird. Figuring out the mics has been an experience that I've kind of just started, but
awesome. Yeah, well, next week we have a lot of changes that are coming, and we always have events that are listed on our events page that may or may not be esports related. It could be hiring events, it could be other like startups pitching to investors. We've got blockchain events with Gala Games and Splinterlands. So the whole blockchain world, they're very much jumping into this full speed. We had Vitalik Buterin, who was opening remarks for ETH Denver. That happened in the beginning of February. That was a pretty big milestone for us. But having 8 esports teams in one event like this is absolutely unheard of. So that's a good trend because then that means if they're all hiring, then that means that they're profitable and that they're making money.
They're all looking for someone or need to expend the resources in some capacity.
Yeah.
So
yeah, for sure, man. So I'm going to continue to walk around. I am running a live feed at the moment, so if I don't keep moving, I'm going to put people to sleep.
Right, that's how streaming goes.
Yeah. So all right, I'll see you around.
Hello, world of I assume Twitch if you're live streaming.
Yeah, it's up there.
Have a good morning.
Twitch,
or
LinkedIn,
afternoon.
Twitter, YouTube. I had to send it out to all the spots. So let's see. Well, I'm gonna go visit the other rooms and go have some more fun. Jam, and I'll see you later, sir.
Bye. I'm gonna go check out this Evil Genius booth. Love.
And we have the networking tips over here. Oh, I'm going to mute my mic so I don't bother you guys too much while I do my broadcast. So we have some interview tips, networking tips, resume tips. If you want to get into the event, you just go to bcga.gamerjive.com. And in this event, you can get in front of esports organizations. You can get in front of some of the product and service providers. We've got Evil Geniuses, CLG, Method, Immortals. I mean, they're all here. What are you waiting for?
Okay, de acuerdo.
Huh? Hola, primo. ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué tal? Qué bueno. Oh, no, he can't hear me. But I did get this delicious coffee. So here, let me sip this for a second before we go back in and start exploring some more. Okay, so we are currently, for those of you who are just watching in, and this is the Black Collegiate Gaming Association. And with this event, we are giving Indigenous people and persons of color access to some of the gaming and esports jobs that are currently on the market. And Hitmarker has been leading the initiative and getting these organizations in front of these students and get the employers in front of the students, collecting those resumes. If you are interested in getting in the event, you can do that by going to bcga.gamerjive.com. But you will need to submit your resume over to info@bcgausa.org. So it looks like Cam is trying to invite me to a chat. So let's jump in with Cam. Cam.
Hey Pete, how's it going?
Hey, I'm doing quite well, my friend. I'm currently on a live feed. Just to give you a heads up, this is being broadcast. How's everything going for you? Are you reaching out to say hello, or do you need tech support?
Slight tech support thing, so I'll try and find Fernanda if you're live streaming.
Sure, yeah. Find Fernanda, but I might be able to help you if it's something interface related.
It's not, unfortunately. It's somebody doesn't seem to be able to enter the group chats. Like, I can speak to them over private, but when they walk into one of the zones, they're not able to speak.
Interesting.
And they have the lock thing over their head, but they're not in a private call. So I wasn't quite sure.
Oh, they might still be in a private chat. They'll have to leave. Have to manually click the leave private chat button.
Okay, I see.
I think they might. Yeah, I'll go ahead and send an announcement to anybody who might be in a private chat and just hasn't left it.
It's working for them now. I can see that. It's Michael over there in interview tips.
Brilliant, brilliant, Cam. Look at that. We fixed it remotely.
Awesome.
All right, take care.
And you, man. Take care.
Cheers. Yeah, so this is what it's like being in these event spaces, is that people are helping each other troubleshoot. They're giving answers to some of the, real simple fixes to just some learning a new platform. And what we've realized is that through these type of immersive spaces, that the community very much does come together. Enabling webcams, right, almost becomes secondary, where I can go in here and turn my webcam on and showcase, right, that I'm in the event. Hey, you can see me in two different places here.
Someone to see.
Let me maximize this so I'm not showing up in too many places. But I'm gonna go take a look at let's go jump into the BCGA booth in here. Let's see what kind of images. So they only have the one image that's in here. But they do have a video, so let's pause for a second and watch some of the content that BCGA has for us. Morgan Gary. He looks like that guy from Westworld. It's the glasses. Head ninja. I love it. Joanna.
Hey, Ebon. So I wasn't blanking when you walked into our call there, sorry. I think you're
Charisma. Oh, it's such a cool name. I feel like I've seen Dennis before. It's a familiar face. Oh, absolutely brilliant. Oh, that's good stuff. Let's see if we've got anybody from BCGA that's in here. All right, where's my friends from BCGA? Do we have anybody? Maybe? Oh, looks like...
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, Jacoby Brown. What's good, man?
How you doing? How you doing?
I'm so good. I'm so good. Thank you for hopping in this virtual event space. I'm actually with the Gamer Jive team. I'm the VP of Business Development, but I'm also hosting a live stream of the experience to just give people kind of an outside take. So if they're like, think of the screen on the outside of the convention hall, right, where it's broadcasting to people outside, which is fun because, you know, this platform has limited reach to mobile. However, it can reach to mobile if we are live streaming some of the content in here. So that's the part that I'm trying to fill, is to give that access. So what is really your greatest challenge really in trying to fulfill this goal of getting, you know, persons of color, indigenous people, right, access to these jobs they seem to be growing in number in terms of like the gaming and esports world? We see the job numbers increase. What are some of the biggest challenges that you're seeing in order to get that matchmaking to take place?
I would say just from at least the position that I'm in, this isn't necessarily my business. This is chairwoman and founder Keisha Walker's business.
Yeah.
But as far as the vision that I've been seeing her pursue, I would say the biggest challenge is more so just getting the different ethnicities and the different demographics to actually hone in and just be able to realize that there's job opportunities out there in their field and outside of the field, not necessarily like in the gaming and esport industry, or not necessarily in their major per se, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So you're trying to really get it to fit as much as you can to what the skill sets are that are there, but that isn't always like a one-to-one match. Do you feel like some students move away from what their core like competency is? So if they're like, you know, if they're a student that's trying to get into media and they're trying to figure out production, do you see some of them having to pivot slightly in order to fit some of the needs of some of these jobs?
I wouldn't say that. No, not necessarily.
Okay.
I wouldn't suggest that they do. I suggest they stay in their lane.
Good.
What
Okay.
they've been doing, what they're interested in, and incorporate whatever that is into the esport industry or the gaming industry, because again, it's not only such a growing space, it's still very new. So all of those positions and all of those titles haven't really necessarily been created yet. Or maybe necessarily just have positions. So I know some gamers are gonna need maybe some therapists and stuff like that. So esports psychologist is a anomaly. So that could be a possibility. So I would suggest that they stay in their lane as far as like their path, like the media. If that's their thing, that's just veer head on straight to media and into esports.
That's brilliant. That's super insightful too, because I do see that with the esports world, it completely mirrors what the traditional sports world needs in terms of, right, the healthcare, the legal, the production, right, HR, pretty much everything across the industry, both industries. It's almost one-to-one, if not the gaming side, because of all the digital components to it, may be creating all these new career paths that we didn't previously see, which is super interesting to me. So yeah, thanks for sharing, your kind of perspective on it. But I want to learn more about you, if that's all right. Could you give me some background on you and how you got involved with BCGA?
Of course. So I graduated in May. It's actually about to be my year anniversary, but I graduated in May 2020. My major was sport management, kinesiology, and sports studies at Texas Southern University. There, I created the first esport organization, first competing esport organization there.
Awesome. Very cool.
So yes, I was the president and the coach there for Texas Southern University. I interned with Comic-Con, Comic-Palooza, Collegiate Star League, TESPA, and Mission Control was like my very first internship there, free internship. And also from there, with my esport organization, I graduated. A few of my mentors and my professors just kind of threw my name around in the industry as far as like what I wanted to do. Out of college, I'm certified as an esport coach. So my professor, my mentor, plugged me in with Ms. Keisha Walker, and it was just history from there.
This is amazing.
Everything that she does, I was doing in college. I just didn't have any kind of like business behind it. So when she reached out to me and I reached out to her, I immediately fell in love with BCGA.
I think this is amazing because I'm an old man, right, in the esports world. I've been doing this since really like 2013, producing my own kind of community events, grassroots events, watch parties for big tournaments for the Dota 2 world, right? So that was kind of my kind of entry point into the space. But it, at the time, it was really, there was nothing much in terms of like a company or an organization that I could just latch onto and they could just put me to work with the skill sets that I had, because I come from, like with a military background and telecommunications, right, doing the marketing and the sales and filling in on more of the more important tasks for a new industry. I didn't have much experience in, so I had to be completely self-taught, especially on the production side. But hearing you tell this story is phenomenal to me, because at that time, right, those careers and people going to college and being a certified esports coach, right, being certified in these like gaming, very specific esports and gaming focused career tracks was so unheard of, right? Just a few years ago, there were less than 50 schools that even offered any kind of certification or a paper proclamation that says like, hey, you are qualified to do XYZ within esports or gaming. But to hear you say this, Jacoby, this is phenomenal to me. So thank you for sharing that. That's huge. And if you were to, if you were to give a piece of advice to some of like, the students that are getting in here and want to, be as successful as they can, what are the top 1 or 2 things that you would recommend?
Definitely, as I said before, just stay in your lane. As far as what you wanted to do beforehand, because just a little backstory. I wanted to be a coach beforehand, traditional sport-wise, until I got introduced to the esports. So I just incorporated what I wanted to do originally, traditionally, into the esport industry or to the gaming industry. So, just stay in your lane, stay focused as far as whatever the title that you want it to be, with your major. And my second one will be have fun, definitely network.
Awesome.
Be yourself. Definitely be yourself. That's one thing that I've known about this industry. Everybody is different. There's a lot of different characters, a lot of different people. So you stay yourself. Be yourself. Definitely.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's a lot easier said than done sometimes, because we want, we hear a hiring manager tell us like, this is what we're looking for, right? They want somebody that can fit, like the values of the company, where they're looking to bring people in, which, may not hit with the person, especially now with the way that, the youth are connected to social media and hear about social issues, and they want to, you know, they also, it's important to them to be matched with the appropriate culture. So now I feel like we're seeing an awesome dynamic shift where the power is now being given to the job seeker to be really, you have a choice on who you can work with to give your blood, sweat, and tears to make them a successful organization. And I think that's a powerful thing that didn't always exist. And I feel that the esports world can really set a really good example of letting the newcomers to the industry help redefine the culture if necessary, and offer new insights into what should be, you know, the customer-led and user-led type of experience, right? We develop software, right? We develop GamerJibe. We get all of our feedback from the end user to use the platform. I think businesses, they know they have to operate that way. Their customer is going to lead how they develop their products. So I think as a hiring manager, when you're trying to create the culture, that feedback you get from your newcomers to your organization, right? You got to check yourself. Sometimes you got to do that audit to see, are we on the right path? Are we nurturing our employees to not, if they don't stay with us for, you know, like their career and they decide to go somewhere else, will we give them the tools to be, you know, the best version of themselves that they can be? And not every organization can do that, but fortunately, I think esports is like they're more on that side of the scale than I think other organizations that are not quite in the gaming space. I don't know if you agree with that, but it's something that I think is, you know, something to be celebrated within, you know, like the gaming culture and esports world. But last question for you before I jump and head to another room is, what's your game of choice, and are you Xbox or PlayStation?
So my
or
game
PC?
Of choice, okay, so well, first question, my game of choice. I'm more so kind of a little basic, 2K Madden.
Awesome. Okay.
But I think I've grown exponentially good at Jump Force, so it's kind of been my game that I've been leaning on lately. And I'm sorry, what's your second question?
And then I imagine because NBA 2K and Madden, so Xbox or PlayStation?
Right. PlayStation.
PlayStation. Oh yes. All right. That's my preference, but you know.
Yes, PlayStation all the way.
That's my preference, but I think it's because I played more PlayStation than I have Xbox.
I played PlayStation all my life.
Yeah, and so I mean, I love it all, to be honest. You know,
Definitely. Yeah,
but I always think it's fun to have that rivalry in there. You know, it makes it fun. We get something to do. Otherwise, it's just going to be boring. All right, man. Jacoby, I appreciate your time, man. Thank you so much. And I'm so glad that you hopped on camera. I didn't realize that right away, but I switched gears, so now everyone can see you on the stream. Thank you for that. And yeah, if you do see any other events, because we do have lots of events that happen on GamerJibe, I would love to see you again at some of the other events. BCGA is always welcome. We have lots of free events that happen on our platform. And if there's anything at all, you know, that we can do, we have the HBCU Battlegrounds that also happens on our platform, which is a group that's based out of Atlanta. I don't know if you're familiar with Community and the work that they're doing there. They're hosting regular esports events, on our platform to get really to get folks into another hiring position with DTLR and some of the work that they're doing there. They do get some music artists, right, that come in to provide some entertainment, but really I think their focus is to try to get people in to fill some jobs with DTLR and some of the other partners that come in there. This has been super cool, man. And you take care of yourself. I'm gonna go jump off into another room. But great chatting with you.
Definitely appreciate the conversation.
Right, cheers.
Oh shit. Okay, hang on.
All right, let's see. Where I can go next. Hello, loves. What's good? What's the hairstyle of choice that I should pick? I need some advice. Which hairstyle should I pick? Should I just go all white? Go kind of old man platinum?
Go for it.
Should I go with the whale tail? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense for me to add facial hair because I'm wearing a face mask, and nobody's gonna see my beard. Nobody's gonna see.
Anyways.
Are you bearded out anyway? Oh, okay, nice. Very good. Very good. Okay, I'm gonna keep just scanning through. I'm just providing commentary because nobody's talking in the channel, so feel free to speak over me anytime.
No, I'm not bearded out yet. I'm just saying, just add a beard anyway.
Add it anyway. Okay.
Yes.
I'll see if I can add like a wizard's beard. Let's see. Do I have one long enough that's gonna poke out? Oh, it makes my mask go away. Oh, this is a very dark brown chin strap. I don't know if I like that one. Michael, what's good, man?
Hey, Rich sent me to find you.
Ah, hey, what? Hey. Well, what are you doing here today? It's good to see you, man.
Looking for a job.
Awesome. Hey.
Same.
All right. Yeah, let's talk about that. Finding a job.
So,
that's a fun topic.
Yeah, I have 4 years of experience in cloud engineering and IT.
All right, 4 years of experience working with who, or as a freelance, or with some organizations?
So I work with an organization that works with other organizations. So
all right, proxy.
Not quite contract, but they have the company has contracts with jobs, and they push me out to these companies like Warner Music Group and American Airlines, and basically working on. The overall goal is to move their data to SAP's new SAP server, but my particular job is managing the actual servers themselves.
Very nice. And coming to this event, have you had some success so far? And just on the conversation side, did you get a chance to meet with some of the other organizations?
Yeah,
awesome.
I've made my rounds across, and I've talked to nearly everybody that has been here so far. I know there's a couple of organizations that are a little bit late, but I'll talk to them when they get here.
Awesome. Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, this event space, I don't imagine it's going to go away right away. What's great about this platform is that we can leave it persistently open so people can go see the information from the booths. We might disable voice and video. I mean, it's entirely up to Rich what he wants to do with it. But yeah, he's got for the next for the remainder of the month, I believe this event space has, the opportunity for some interesting connections to take place because text chat will always be available,
so
even if
every once in a while there might be some narrative design jobs or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I really am excited for the different career paths that we don't quite see just yet that are going to emerge from these different technologies. So let me give you an example. So working with GamerJive, we have these different roles that are now coming to the surface where we have companies that are specifically hiring people to be part of their digital event production to create these event spaces, to bring people together, sell booths to exhibitors. And that job is, while you're wearing many hats, it's still focused on production, right? You're still like building out the event space, building out the scheduling, right? You're doing everything that you would typically for a land-based event, but that's not a job that previously existed. Maybe it did for webinars, right? But we're not here talking about webinars. We don't want to fall asleep on another Zoom call, and I'm bored to tears.
Yeah, over the past year, Zoom calls have been a little bit getting a little bit harder to do.
Yeah. And I mean, I want to be interrupted. Like I want to walk into a room, overhear a conversation and decide whether or not, do I want to, talk to these people or do I want to just sit here and be a fly on the wall? And, we don't get that in some of these webinars because we have to just sit and wait for something exciting to happen if it does happen. And, fortunately in this type of event space, you really get to be in control of your destiny, and I love that choose your own adventure aspect of it. But anyway, I want you to find a job. If you're still here, yeah. I still got you. Okay,
I was talking
Mike,
to Rich. I was talking to Rich about it. I was wondering if you guys had any jobs.
Well, currently we don't have any requisitions that are posted, but we are in a growth phase. So over the next couple of weeks, let's stay in contact. I am personally not responsible for the hiring side, but we do have some folks on our team who are. And as they, we definitely want to build on that list. So if you want to submit your resume over to, let me post it on stream because I'm currently streaming this conversation, by the way. So don't say anything that's going to incriminate yourself. Don't give up your Bitcoin wallet address. It's not a good idea. So info at bcgausa.org. Hitmarker is definitely the place where you want to get in touch with them, because if we do post some recs, we are developing, we are using game technology to create these event spaces, and esports organizations are very much, looking at this platform as part of their watch parties and fan engagements. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes in the near future as it starts to scale. And then, yeah, we'll keep in touch, man. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn as well if you want to send it to me directly. If you've got a CV or resume that I could look at, and I'll put that in the hands of our chief operating officer, who's the one responsible for just collecting all of that. But anyway, so with this kind of technology, what do you see as like the biggest pain points or success points for having this kind of immersion? I'm just interested in your perspective.
So I always like to take a look at things from the technical side, because that's what I have to do on a daily basis. Leaving a server running like this 24/7, there's always an opportunity for something to go wrong in the middle of the night. Or do you guys use cloud servers for this, or do you know you have on-premise servers?
Well, I can't discuss that over the stream, but I will say that cloud is very much a part of it. But let's just leave it at that for now, because the tech stack, there's some obvious components to it, but I got to be careful what I share, because a lot of that, we that's part of our move into IP. But it's a really good question. It's a really good question. But I will say that there definitely are some vulnerabilities that exist when you try to create, these open worlds that need to exist perpetually and have people come in a network. DDoS is a big issue with a lot of, like even just a website, right? And you just have some traffic flooding all into, like one server and one website. That's a nightmare, absolute nightmare for a company. And, that's outside of my wheelhouse about how you create, a defensibility against those things. But man, you take a website down for a whole day, and that could just be devastating.
It could crush a company.
Yeah, that'd be devastating for for their revenue. And it's very much a reality. And I would like to see where perhaps there's either some VPN or encryption solutions, and I know people are working on this, but I would love to see blockchain as part of a solution as well, to help specifically with like one-to-one connections, secure connections, and the avoidance.
Blockchain would definitely alleviate a lot of that headache. You also run into vulnerabilities. I know the website doesn't collect a lot of personal information, but the personal information that is on there, if people voluntarily give up their email address or their phone number, there is always a vulnerability of that, where that data is stored, getting blown apart and hacked.
Yeah. So are there any other insights that, that you've seen from, just from your vantage point about what other virtual platforms, because we fortunately haven't had any issues with connectivity, but as we start to broadcast out to the rest of the world, and we start scaling up in terms of like the participation concurrently within the event, and other organizations start catching wind, because we've purely been word of mouth. A lot of the activities that have happened, our customers currently on the platform, purely word of mouth. We haven't done a single paid campaign to market this platform, which has been exciting for us and helpful, because it allows us to not run into bottlenecks as we're trying to scale. Because having to automate is hard, and you have to self-reflect and audit your process and make sure that you're not dropping the ball anywhere. I don't like to see people disappointed. When someone comes in and uses our platform and they find an issue with it, some people joke around and be like, yeah, your head's spinning around, that's a feature. Like, no, like, no, yeah, it could be, yeah, on one hand, that could be fun for a little while, but it's small bugs like that you want to tweak and perfect. And then also, making sure that we can connect to the proper regions. So I would love to pick your brain and see, what are some of those areas that maybe, some of the pain points that you've seen from your vantage point for like software as a service, or in our case, a platform as a service, because any community can jump in and use our platform in different ways to grow their community.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I noticed a lot of the servers that I manage, they tend to use VPNs and firewalls to prevent unauthorized access. So you have public IP addresses. Anybody can connect to it if they are crafty enough. But if you put stuff behind firewalls and VPNs, it makes it a little bit harder for them to access because they have to be on that network in order to access these servers.
And so there's trying to avoid some of the bottlenecks. There's always going to be. I feel like that's going to be omnipresent with, especially if you are not reaching all the regions that you're looking to connect to, and then when some of those regions start to become you start to saturate those areas, because that's something that I feel like it's from GamerJibe's perspective, right? As we look to be more of a global organization, a lot of our audience, is a good 50-50 mix of overseas and here on the stateside. So we have to balance that. Right? How many of those customers do we actually want connecting to the U.S. region, and what effect does that have on their latency, and what does that have? What effect does that have on our servers? Right? If we have too many people coming and connecting to the U.S. region, but we want those people to speak to one another, right? So that's an interesting challenge that we have to take a look at and overcome. And without, I guess without missing. Where there could be an easier solution. And I think that's a big headache sometimes, is when you're like go into deep analysis to try to figure out like an easy problem, and then you end up going a different direction but realize you overlooked what a simpler solution could have been, which is why like bringing in new talent and bringing in fresh eyes and ears into help solve a problem. I think that, there's some benefit to that because as I get older, like I'm almost in my 40s now, but I come from the esports world, hosting my own events years ago, and then filling convention centers for a few years with DreamHack, and then seeing how the land-based virtual event transfers into the virtual side. That's very interesting, because what we could do on the land-based side is just a small snapshot of what we can do on the virtual side. And it turns out there's a lot of gamification that we can do on this side that we previously couldn't on the land-based side, and that's an interesting world to kind of, because you're literally opening up a can of worms that, like, once you solve that problem of gamification for organizations, they all want a piece of it, and that could be good or bad. Because you know how quickly, like, if you're a gamer, I'm assuming, right?
Yep.
You're not just playing one video game all the time.
No.
You like to play different titles, but say for instance, some new content comes out, right? Similar to the industry, where these new solutions and trends come out. Depending on like how effective they are, people tend to become bored, and it's just becomes stale, and it's not as fun. So that we have to be careful about the kinds of things that we offer to exhibitors, and not give them just one solution, but like a spread, or almost like an a la carte. Right? Here's all the different ways. Choose your adventure. Right? Here's all the ways that you can engage a community, because I don't think it's just going to be one size. Right? It's not going to be one size fits all.
It's not one size fits all.
No, it's not going to be like
each organization is going to want their own custom solution. Each organization has different needs and different requirements you have to meet.
Yeah, and I think that realization, we came to that very quickly within our team, that we can evaluate some of those goals, because that conversation, like, it's happening on Clubhouse, it's happening on Twitter, it's happening in all these other like 2D webinar style platforms. In fact, I'm currently involved in an event called Collision right now, and they have a really cool, like, I really like this feature of it, and it's called Mingle, where you basically click the Mingle button and you get put in a rotation. So you have a 3-minute window with a random attendee that matches your profile, and you've got a 3-minute window to pitch. I have not seen people talk so fast in such a long time. And this was great, because that's my wheelhouse. I like to be able to deliver a message quickly and coherently. And so to hear,
it's almost like an elevator pitch.
it's but you're fighting, you're fighting 3 minutes of time with another person. We're not really fighting, but I tend to, I give up that 3 minutes to the other person just to hear them speak, because I've got running in my background. So as you can see my video, so this is basically what I have running in my background. Is basically this. Here, I'll switch it over. It's basically the trailer for Gamer Jive. So I don't really have to say much, and they know what's going on, and they start asking questions like, "Oh, well, this is a relief. What do you got in the background of your screen?" Because a lot of people don't incorporate these kinds of things when they go through these events, which is really bizarre to me because I thought nobody's out there helping other users get this kind of video content into their online conferencing and online meetings, and I think more people should do that. So hey, if there's something you get out of this this session between the two of us, Michael, I think you might be able to start your own company right there, just helping people level up on their tech, because it's definitely a point where I feel like you don't need incredible bandwidth, you don't need a souped up gaming machine. All right, these are easy things that people can do, and so if anyone's out there on the live stream, if they're listening, XSplit VCam, I love it. I think it's amazing, and that's how I'm able to get a lot of this up on the background in any video session that I have with folks on here. But anyway, all right, I'm going to continue to talk your ear off. Is there anyone else in this channel that wants to have an opinion on something beside me? Anybody? Now, Michael, take it away, man. What else? What would be your dream job?
I would love work for like a game development studio, or even like a software solutions, like how you guys do, where you serve other companies. Just managing servers in the video game realm, just because I've been so involved with it ever since I was fairly early on in my career. It's just a really big passion of mine, to figure out problems and work towards solutions for them. And I mean, I've gone out of my way to get certifications like Six Sigma and Agile, just because it has helped me significantly in obtaining that goal and obtaining, problem solving and solutions management, really, and moving my career towards that path.
Yeah, do you think, with what information that you have learned so far about going down that path, have you kind of felt that there's like a barrage of conflicting information about, like industry pivots, right? When COVID hit, was that an upset for the kind of work that you were pursuing?
So I'd like to say that the work that I am pursuing, that I do, actually improved after COVID, because I'm working, like I said, I work with a lot of cloud servers, and a lot of companies which originally had on-premise cloud, on-premise server solutions. Suddenly, that wasn't really feasible when you can't have employees on-premise to maintenance them. So they moved their servers off-site, off to the cloud, off to IBM SkyTag, AWS, and I found that business started booming in that sector after COVID hit.
Yeah, that's super interesting, because the gaming industry, there's a big celebratory stance, right? The World Health Organization completely did a 180 about gaming as an addiction. It's a problem. And then all of a sudden COVID hit and they're like, gaming is amazing.
Gaming is a form of therapy.
Yes, gaming's it's helping people deal with body dysmorphia. If you're like using VR equipment, if you lost a limb, right? Or, you're using children's games to help children with ADHD, or your folks like Extra Life, and you're seeing all the funding that's going to giving these gaming setups, and
charity,
giving opportunity to kids that are bedridden, really, in a hospital.
Hi, MCB, you there?
Yeah, hey,
Milson,
what's up?
Nintendo's made some huge strides in that too. They fully launched a program. I'm not sure if it was last year or the year before, where they're bringing Nintendo Switches and Nintendo consoles into hospitals, and they've gotten it down to a science where they're able to keep the equipment sterile when they bring it in, so they're not bringing in any pathogens, any viruses, any bacteria into these potentially immunocompromised individuals.
Yeah, that's super important, and I feel like it's just going to continue to improve. I think COVID was a big realization to all of us that the way we were operating industry, the way roads were being packed, the 9 to 5 hustle, right? I'm so happy that I don't spend 10 hours plus a week just sitting in traffic, right? That I feel like is it's not the same for everybody. I feel like there's still some, depending on your job, you still have to, to get up, drive, commute to where you need to go to do your work. But, for folks like us that, get to work really in the cloud and work in the digital space, that is a huge relief because we're always attached to technology, right? As soon as we get a notification and if it's work related, right, we're taking a look at it and we're trying not to let it just sit there and become part of our backlog. So I very much see the pros and cons of us, like kind of shifting to kind of the remote experience because it means we're always working, and that's not necessarily healthy either. So you trade one bad thing for another in hopes to still balance it all in a way. Because I know my wife and my kids, right, they talk about this all the time where, it's like, Dad, you're telling us to get off the computer, but you're on the computer all day long. And then it's like, yeah, no, that's entirely relatable. And it's good to pause and kind of reflect on that and mind our base needs for quality human connection, because while these events can get us close to that quality human connection, it's still important for us to have that FaceTime and to get with your community and get offline and go into nature, go for the walks, like take the dog out to the park, go swimming, go to the coast, go see the sunset and the sunrise. Man, if anybody is hearing this and they haven't gone to see the sunrise within the last 6 months, then you need to go do that. Like this weekend, set your alarm clock,
experience,
get up, watch the sunrise, and just sit in isolation. But at the same time, you're surrounded by that peace and that serenity. It doesn't even matter if you got the highway buzzing next door. It's just noise. It's just noise. But experience those serene moments, because it's going to make us better human beings in the digital space anyhow. I mean, it's just a fact of the matter, man. I'm going to be a miserable human being if this is all I do all day long. That's just the truth of it, man. I'm going to go crazy. But
I think at least in my industry, though, I felt like maybe my work-life balance actually improved after working from home. Because, at least at work, if something went wrong at home, I couldn't just at the jump of a hat go take care of it. I'd have to drive all the way home. And now while being at home, I can kind of deal with these situations as they come a lot more naturally because I'm here, I'm present. My family is in the other room. If they need me, I'm just a room away and not, 15, 20, 30 minutes down the road.
Well, Michael, I really appreciate this conversation. I'm gonna go venture off and go hit up some of these other rooms, but we should be connected on LinkedIn now. If you found my profile and my name, send me a connection request.
Yep.
I would love to take a look at that CV and resume. We'll stay in touch, and good luck to you, my friend. I'm glad you're talking to everybody in this event, because one way or another, that this is how you're going to find success. So best of luck to you, my friend. And thanks for the chat.
Thank you. Yep.
Cheers.
Have a good day.
All right. So next, we're going to head into the other esports room. See if we can talk to some of our...
Saying holy shit, I have some friends who are actually absolutely insane on video editing. It's art. It's art.
Yeah, like you said, when they could be doing movies and they're doing something like gaming, and you could definitely tell when you look at content from different teams.
Crystallize, making tricks flip. Hear the beats knocking, make your heart skip. And then we ride on the mothership. Hop on the mothership and we ride. Ride. Hop on the mothership and we ride.
I'm unstoppable now.
Spam the chat. It's like,
We'll
all right.
see.